Hello, hello. It's July 9th, 10th? 9th. Fuck. I just ate a salad. It expires on the 10th, so it better not be the 10th. That make me sick. Anyway, how y'all doing? I'm going to just pause this. I'm listening to, we're watching a, here, I'll just show you. I'm watching a Titanic virtual tour of Titanic. It's super neat. My brother from another mother, his son is obsessed with Titanic. This kid's got fucking everything, man. He's got that Lego Titanic that's like $1,000. Me and his father were talking last night, and he jokingly said that his son's got so much Lego, someone's gonna break into his house, go right to his room, steal $10,000 worth of Lego. I don't know. I find that funny. It was funny. He's got a nice house. I'm sure there'd be other things to steal, but that kid's got that much Lego and is obsessed with Titanic, man. He fucking builds Titanics all the time. And anyway, I was watching this and I sent it to him, and I watched another clip that had a 3-dimensional breakdown of that, and that was super neat, man. I was like, fuck, cool. I like that kind of shit. Anyway, yeah, where's my brain going, eh? This whole week has been super unproductive. I haven't gone to the gym. I've slept like shit every fucking night. I wasn't feeling well all week. A little bit of self-inflicted flu, and then I started getting sick, so that didn't help. Anyway, I managed to go for a walk today, and then I went outside and I cut the grass, did a little bit of yard work, and then my hip is just fucking holy. And it's weird because my hip was good for the last couple of days. I don't know if it's the heat or what. Like, we're getting pretty warm here. It's 30 above Celsius. Tomorrow, we got 4 days of hot. So I'm trying to get my... I don't know, what the fuck? Heartburn. Acid reflux. I had a Greek salad, Greek. That's with the white cheese, the crumbly. Anyway, I like those because they're low calorie, and I've been eating garbage food, so I feel fat. I am fat. Fuck, never mind. I stepped in the scale. I'm 194.5 pounds. So I'm like, holy fuck. Like 5 months ago, man, I was, well, maybe not. November of 25, the late November, right before Christmas, I was the leanest I've been in decades, man. I got down to 168.95 pounds. 168.9 pounds. So I was fucking lean, man. I started getting striations in my shoulders, and obliques were starting to show, and that the V at the bottom of my torso was starting to pop in a little bit. My goal was 164. At that point, I start getting pretty lean, and I know this because I've done it before and have pictures to prove it. But that was when I was 31. That was like almost 20 years ago. So can an old fart like me get there again? I don't know. I don't know if I want to. That was a lot of work. It meant no eating pizza and no well, I don't want to drink anymore. But my poison is candies. Like, fucking candies are just butterscotch type candies. I'm like, holy moly. Funny story. Those Mackintosh caramel butterscotch chocolate bar candies. I bought one from the gas station the other day when I got propane, and I bought one of those bars, and they're like hockey pucks, man. They're fucking hard. So I put it in my mouth, and I'm like, trying to tear it apart, and it wouldn't go. You have to like suckle it or whatever, loosen it, and then you can kind of tear it apart. And it was hot, so I just took my hands while I was driving, and I like bent it back and forth into 3 different pieces, right? So it was a 5-inch bar, and I bent it into like 1.5 inches each, and kind of folded it over like tin. Once you start bending it, it loses structural strength and integrity and bends easy. So I did that. I folded it like an accordion and stuck the whole thing in my mouth. And I was driving home and like drooling and salivating because this thing was just filling my mouth with caramel or butterscotch or whatever. And I couldn't talk, and I kept thinking, like, fuck, I hope I don't hit a bump and swallow it, because I'm in big trouble. I'll die choking on butterscotch. And it was barely fitting in my mouth, and I was salivating, and I couldn't close my mouth, so I was fucking drooling caramel down. And people that I'd drive by slowly on the side street coming home, or and they must have thought like that guy's got rabies or something. He's frothing at the mouth. And then some lady honked at me, and I had to put my hand up, and I couldn't even yell at her because my mouth was full of caramel. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but I like caramel. That's my poison of choice, man. I'd eat that all day. So yeah, that's my oh fuck, my back just cracked. Ooh, my chest just cracked too. If I was an egg, I'd be fucked. I mean, I'm already fucked, and I'm not an egg. I've got my head is the shape of an egg. I'm sleep deprived, so if I sound giddy, that's why. Pardon my silliness. I was grumpy today, man. I yelled a couple times at the cat because he was a little brat. Right? Psst, psst, psst. What? Look at how cute he is, upside down to the world. That's what you call changing your perspective. Oh, buddy, I love you. You're so fucking cute. Anyway. I love him to pieces, but I do yell when he's a brat. He was meowing at me at 4 a.m. because he didn't have food, and I just fell asleep. I didn't fucking sleep good this week, man. I just so many ruminating thoughts of people and things, and I spiral quick, man. And I talked to my therapist about that. I was like, man, why do I catastrophize and spiral? And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I gave her all these examples, and I think she thinks I'm knucking futs, and you know what? I probably am, but like in a safe way. I wouldn't hurt anybody unless I had to, but you know, she doesn't know that, so she might have been a little weirded out. I've gone to her for over a year now, so you know, and I've seen her for years. I had the incident happened many years ago, and it traumatized me. The city said it traumatized me and sent me to victim services, but I didn't care about that moment. But I was like, fuck, you know what? If they're giving me $3,000 worth of free therapy, I'm like, why not? I'll try it. And I went to her once, and I was like, oh, she's young and pretty, and that was probably stupid. But you know what? I'd seen therapists and counselors and shit through school and Anyway, I've been through that ringer multiple times in my life, and it never worked. I never liked those like old crunchy therapists that smelled like fucking piss, or ladies that smelled like cheap perfume, cigarettes, and coffee or something like that. When I was a little kid, it would just make me gag. I was like, fuck, I do not want to be here. I don't like this lady. I went to one guy, looked like a fucking mad scientist. He had this like curly fucking hair, and he looked like that weirdo guy from Ghostbusters 2. And I was about 10 when I went, no, that guy was older. Anyway, I've been to therapists, never worked. So I went to her, and, you know, you're not supposed to develop crushes on your therapists. But, you know, again, she was a female. She was pretty. She was young. She's younger than me. And it turns out she's just easy for me to talk to, man. I really opened up to her over the last year, especially. So, then there's that. I don't know where I was going with this. I lost my train of thought. I got a lot on my mind, and I was just doing a quick brain dump here, trying to make it quick, and it's already 9 minutes. Telling my therapist all these things that are on my mind this week. And I was telling my brother from another mother this yesterday, sitting there having a smoke with him and his stepmom, or his mother-in-law, about the Byford Dolphin incident, or accident rather. It was a catastrophic depressurization of a diving bell and its platform. Gruesome details, man, and my mind spiraled. So I didn't just watch the video. I started reading the autopsy and looking at the autopsy photos, and you know, there's pictures of this human being that was eviscerated. The force of that pressure differential, or that depressurization, is so strong, it literally took a fully grown man and sucked him through a hole of about 4 inches in width. So it obliterated him. It tore him into pieces. And the autopsy mentions something of perfectly dissecting of the dissecting. Is that what it's called? Perfectly dissecting the liver or something like that. And it was in perfect condition. Looked like it had been surgically removed, and his face and scalp had been removed from his skull, and part of his spinal cord was, his body was scattered 10 meters in all directions. And there's pictures. So, like, don't watch it if you're like me, especially because, it's like feeding myself booze or cocaine, man. Like, it's not a good idea. My fucking brain just goes off, and then I start watching other stupid shit that just gets me more wound up. And that led me to, what's that guy's name? The spiritual. He was like the guru, not the guru, but a leader or representative of incels, Elliot Rogers, maybe Elliot Roger. He's the guy that had the 174 page manifesto of how he hated women and blah blah blah, and he went and shot a bunch of people. But fucking lunatic. But my brain, I watched a little bit of him, and like he's not interesting. So it's hard to listen to him because he's just that nuts. And then my YouTube kind of plotted videos on my timeline that it knew, if not that they're not interrelated, but it knew my triggers and what videos would get me commenting. Oh God, I need a Tums. Anyway, so that led me to watching these like black pill type guys, like the polar opposite of that Elliot guy. These guys are like the self-proclaimed alpha dominant males, and I hate that shit too, man. And like I'm gonna comment because they say such stupid things sometimes, or their stories are incomplete at best, and then that led me to, what the hell was it? Murder, crime series on YouTube or something, and then that led me to Chris Hansen and Catch a Predator, and then female predators, and like my brain is looking for patterns, like what the female predators, man. Which this is what I've been kind of ruminating over the last couple hours here. For all intent and purposes, or by any measurable metric, like the women predators tend to be pretty, and they're usually married, and some of them have families, and it's like, what the fuck? Why would you throw it all away in a 13? And they tend to go for younger criminals or younger victims. The men tend to be older, like a lot of them are 30s and 40s and older, and they're chatting with girls that tell them they're 15, 16, and 17, whereas the girls are going for like middle school boys. But the women tended to have better accountability, but they still tried to shift the blame onto the victim, putting some of the responsibility on a kid. Whereas the dudes would like they wouldn't accept responsibility at all. Like the backpedaling and mental gymnastics those fucking guys have to go through when they're trying to talk themselves out of being in trouble. And the thing for me is, I'm like, dude, how fucking dumb are you, you ding dong? If you're talking to a detective, that means they have evidence they've collected. They know what you said. They know what you've got. You're busted. Like, shut the fuck up and stop talking and wait for a lawyer, or just come clean, because it's so fucking frustrating watching these guys fucking like the most insane stories that you can imagine. They sound like a fucking toddler got his hand caught in a cookie jar, the way my buddy's kids would try and like, well, a dragon led me to the path and it bit my hand, and my hand, it like, give your head a shake. Anyway, these videos, this is what they do to me. Everything makes me spiral and go crazy. And then I'm barking at people in comments, and so I don't know. Anyway, I have a problem and I don't know how to fix it. And my therapist, I don't know what she said about that. She agreed that Byford Dolphin was interesting from a physics standpoint, that the, rapid depressurization of she knows I'm a big fan of airplanes. So I think I kind of explained to her, to put it into perspective, like an airplane is pressurized at about 4,000 feet today. Some older planes may be upwards of 8,000. But, a more pressurized airplane would mean the pressure, the number of atmospheres in a tube in an airplane would be, I think the AI said 1.25. So when you're at 31,000 feet at a modern 787, the plane is pressurized for about 4,000 feet. That's about 1.25 or 1.35 atmospheres. And if you think about the accidents that have occurred in the last 40 years, when you have, skin failure or hull failure or whatever, not hull failure, but when there's an explosive decompression, people that aren't buckled down are usually sucked out. That if they're by the immediate rupture, they're gone. And they'll get sucked through a hole no bigger than my head. And I mean, I have a big head, but it's not that big. It would hurt going through something like this. Believe me. So, to put it into perspective, that 9 atmospheres is 36 times 25, 9, 4 times 9, 18, 36. Yeah, it's 36 times more force. And in like the split second that it takes for pressure to neutralize, that's how much force pushed that guy through that 4-inch crevice. And those are the things I like to kind of think about, but without the gore and the gruesome and the blah. And like, man, I've looked at gore my whole life. I'm so desensitized to it. At least that's what I tell myself. I don't know. I mean, when I see gross shit, man, I don't have a stomach for it. If someone picks their nose or blows their nose or farts while I'm eating, I'll probably throw up on the plate that quick. So maybe I don't have a stomach for it. But, my hip. Anyway, these are the things that, my brain goes cocorico for. And I don't know why. Probably ADHD. This is what my doctor and my therapist assume without having given me the proper DSM-5 test or whatever. And like on the higher end of it, the more destructive side, I guess. I don't know. Some of my patterns and life trajectories would line up with someone that is poorly regulated and doesn't know how to regulate. That explains alcohol, drugs, and porno and that kind of stuff. And seeking out intensity all the time. If I'm hungover on the couch or sick and I can't go out and fucking jump in front of a car to see if I die, then I guess, I don't know, that's when porno kicks in. Anyway, I don't know why I said porno. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. How fucked up am I? If you're watching, I don't know, give me a rating. Like, out of 10, am I a 5 or a 10 or a 12? Yeah, this is just bottled water. But I bought this hydration with electrolytes and stuff preloaded. Because recently, man, I've had in the last couple of months, this ongoing problem where I have a hell of a problem getting up in the morning, man. Like, I used to get up, no problem. I'd be up at 4:30 and fucking out of the house at the gym by 4:45 or 5:15, 6 at the latest. And I've really struggled doing that lately. And I need to get back into that pattern of things because my life is, I mean, it's not spiraling out of control, but like, I talked about this the other day. I already slipped twice with alcohol and drugs, and fuck that shit. I don't want to go down that path anymore. I want nothing to do with that world or those people, if that's what it means. And anyway, wish me luck. If you're watching, I see you, feel you, appreciate your eyeballs and attention. Thank you for flying here, Alex. Have a safe journey tomorrow and a wonderful day. Take advantage of the weather if you're in a place like Winnipeg and it's nice. And love you all. We'll take care and we'll chat soon. Bye. Oh, come on.